Welcome to Scale Model Workshop. Contour gauges are a pretty nifty tool. They do a nice job of replicating the contours and profiles of larger objects with more gentle curves, but their inherent construction makes them somewhat fiddly and easily tweaked. Using a contour gauge on most of the small models that we work on is a bit like using a camera with a resolution of 10 pixels. It's hard for the gauge to accurately register small radius curves, so it'd be of limited use making a bulkhead for this 48th scale monogram A26. A better method for taking off tight contours like this would be with a plaster template. Start by laying a piece of tape where you want to create the template. I use plastic autobody striping tape. This blue tape's more flexible than something like fine line tape. Next, you want to mix a small amount of plaster or hydrocal. Both plaster and hydrocal are gypsum products. Hydrocal is harder and it'll pick up more detail than plaster, but usually it'll take longer to set. Always put your water in first. It'll make it much easier to mix everything thoroughly. Mixing gypsum products longer will accelerate the setting time. A rubber mixing bowl is handy to have around for those times when you want to use some plaster. And it's surprising once you get used to handling plaster how many uses you'll find for it. Keep the mix nice and stiff. There's no need to be slopping this everywhere. Better to use a little finesse and keep things tidy. As it begins to set, you want to shape the plaster. Make sure the plaster overlaps onto the tape. It's important to level the top off so that you have an accurate centerline for later. When the plaster sets up, the piece is removed, and you can trace the indent left from the tape. The plaster piece is sanded flat to the line. The plaster form is used to scribe the outline on a piece of styrene. Pencil lead's rubbed into the scribe for better visualization. The styrene's then cut to shape. Mark the shape side for future reference. Use a blade to follow the center line over to the other side. With the plaster template aligned to the center line, scribe the outline for the other half. Here's the final result. A variation of this technique was used to create the hull for this 72nd scale Boeing 314.